So for this next course lesson is finding your niche. So when you are starting out as a notary, I think what everybody thinks about is loan signings, obviously, or just doing things for the general public. And that's fine, but a different revenue stream that I have found is niching down and finding a different, like, kind of a weird market. So I've had a couple of like car dealerships, and I do a whole entire Untapped Markets series about this, so military bases, things like that. So if you get in with a couple different types of offices or niches like this, you can expand your client base and your revenue income stream. So the first thing that I had to kind of figure out is the mindset shift. So when you are doing this, I had to do a mindset shift from, only doing my local area as a mobile notary. So when I was doing SEO, it was very much based on my specific area. And then I would do things based on the county or like things around my specific place that I would drive to. So it was 3 different counties, that's it. That's the only places that I was marketing to. But now the world is your oyster, so that is one of the mindset shifts that I had to go through. You can market towards anyone, and anyone is your customer. So I have toyed with the idea of doing some marketing along the lines of, what does virtual notaries and Pitbull have in common? And they're both Mr. International, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'm cool enough. I think that it would fall flat very, very much so. But we can do international. Foreign nationals is my niche. It is who I work with the most, and I really, really enjoy that. There are tons of different opportunities. So basically what I had to do is turn my thinking cap on, and in regards to that, to the point that if I have a pest control guy come over, I will basically pitch to him, which happened. It never shuts off, and I am continually trying to find something that another virtual notary has not gone after already. And I will tell you right now that there are a lot of different niches that are not saturated with virtual notaries. We're at a very, very distinct advantage that this is a brand new thing. So I really, really encourage you to start reaching out and doing the research that it takes to be able to go after these people or go after this industry. Because once you are the primary source of information, you're the one that kind of just gets to lay the foundation, lay the groundwork of, this is how it goes, this is how I would like to have everything happen. And then, you can go from there, but that is your base. And as long as you continue to do a good job within your niche, you will be the expert, you will be the one that is asked for all the time. And even if there is someone else that comes in, hopefully you run your business in a way that you are the best. So even if there is someone that might be a little bit undercut the competition of you, they won't care, because you'll have established that relationship, you'll have introduced them, and they would rather work with someone that they know and they know is going to do a good job. You've already established a name for yourself. So that is my tip. The other thing is, when you are doing these things of, like, let's say you're talking to your pest control guy, you can let them know. And I've had a lot of luck with this, say that you're not super good with marketing, you're just starting out in your business. And do you have any other suggestions for you of people that you can market to for notarizations? People are usually very, very helpful. And instead of necessarily asking them for your business, it's a little bit of an interesting way to get their minds working on how they can help you, because I find that people are naturally helpful and they want to be able to give solutions even if they don't have business to give you right then. And that's happened all the time, where they're like, oh, I don't have anything for you. And then they call up a little bit later and they're like, hey, I have a friend that, and then it goes from there. So I ask for additional suggestions. Sometimes I hear of the craziest things that need notarized that I have never heard of before, and I've been in the industry of notarizations for 10 years and it comes up all the time. So in specifics for the bug guy, he needs, for when his company buys chemicals, some of that for the international shipping needs notarized. So I'm going to explore that and see how that goes. You might see an Untapped market about that. The other thing that is really, really nice for when you are doing this is having a contact. So if you have someone like, we're just gonna continue along with the narrative of the bug guy. So if you have the bug guy introduce you to a different industry or a different niche, it's so much easier to get your foot in the door if someone is helping you. If they say, you know, oh, Joe, this is Katie. I was talking to her about notarizations and I wanted to get her in front of you. That has happened a lot. And I think that more people are apt to hear out someone that is introduced by a friend or a colleague. I know I am. You know, I'll give them a little bit more attention and a little bit more time than I necessarily would have if it was someone that is cold pitching to me. So that is something to keep in mind, to try and get a contact within that industry and then go from there so that you are introduced. Because, you know, if someone were to ask me, do I know any other notaries to be able to pitch to? I happen to know a few, so that's my industry, so you want to try and get in. The other thing that I find is super helpful to ask is, once you get that contact, ask what type of notarizations and pain points that they have. So I know for title companies, the pain points that they have are mailaways. You know, make sure that you watch that video that I was talking about for mailaways if you are marketing towards title companies, which you should be. But finding the pain points of the different things that they have issues with. Like, I know charitable organizations, most of the demographic that they are working with essentially are underserved in a wide variety of ways, but even with notarizations. So having access to a notary, sometimes having access to a computer or a laptop or things like that. So that is something that you can position yourself in different industries to be able to provide solutions, and it just so happens that that will help you with an income. So ask what documents need notarized, so that way you can kind of look it up and see if there's any other industries that need that, and that way you can be comfortable with it and then pitch it to the next person within that niche. So you can call up and say, hey, do you have issues with getting your clients in front of a notary, you know, in this particular rural area? Well, do I have a solution for you? So I wouldn't necessarily say it like that, but along those lines. So in the course, there's a bunch of different types of things that I have found to be niches. So go ahead and check that out. But in general, it's almost everything. Almost everything you can think of needs notarization at one point or another. I joke that we are as inevitable as death and taxes, but it's true. So just keep that in mind when you are going through everything, and best of luck.